Welcome to practice. We're going to be doing a little bit of kneeling again. So a chair might be useful near your mat and your blanket and maybe even a yoga block if you have that. If that's a better prop for you to sit, kneel on. Let's just start on our feet. I'm going to close eyes and start to make a circle of your whole body around your feet. Out the side, leaning back, out the other side, leaning forward. Whole body around the feet. And then the other direction. And let the circle that your head is traveling get smaller and smaller until the movements are very subtle. And you feel like you're finding your center. Nice. Open your eyes and bring your hands onto your belly. And take some deep breaths, feeling the belly expand and contract with the breath. As you exhale, roll forward. And inhale and roll up. So just little movement. We're aware of the flow of the breath. The air leaving the lungs and the abdomen as you exhale, filling the lungs and the abdomen as you inhale. Even squeeze the belly towards the spine as you exhale, making room for your forward bend. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Just squeeze the belly towards the spine now. Nice work. We're going to hold our forward bend and put your hands down onto the floor. Now, if you have trouble reaching the floor, find your blocks or the seat of a chair. So you need to keep your hands supported because we're going to lift up the left leg and we're going to reach it across behind the right leg. So you're crossing your legs, left leg behind the right, and reach as far across off to the side of your mat as you can, even touching down. Good. And then just try to straighten that standing leg. Nice. And then come back to center. And then reach across with your right leg over to the left side. So the right leg goes behind the left leg. Reach as far as you can, just touching the tiptoes towards the floor. And see if you can straighten. Nice. Back to center. And then again. And then back to center. And right leg behind the left. Good. And then back to center. And then rolling up. Hands to the belly. Find the breath. Exaggerate squeezing the belly to the spine when you exhale. And when you breathe in, let the belly feel really spacious without compressing your lower back. Good. So exhaling and forward bend. Hands onto the chair or to the floor. Take your right foot behind the left foot again, so over to the left. And then we're going to put the right hand flat down on the floor and reach the left hand in front of the right hand. So we're going to reach, you sort of end up with your hands and feet in a diagonal line. Try to straighten that left leg, really stretching the left ribs. Beautiful. And then back to center. And then the left leg behind the right leg as far as you can. Good. And we'll put the left hand down flat and reach the right hand in front of the left hand. And then try to straighten your right leg. Really retract the belly as you exhale. Make a little bit more space. Good. And then back to center. And rolling. Let's take the arms up this time. Feel that length in the rib. And Tadasana. You might already feel a little bit longer. Good. Now, you don't need anything on your mat, but maybe your chair, if you're using that to put your hands onto. Come to the front of the mat. Arms up. Lift the ribs. Then Uttanasana. Good. So your hands might be on the seat of the chair or they're on the floor. And we're going to walk little steps, the feet back. Find your best downward facing dog pose where your heels are as close as you can get them to the floor, or you can really feel the stretch in the back of your leg. I'm going to have the feet hip width. Good. And then we're going to just lower the knees to the floor and lift back up again. We're going to make that movement and keep going. And try to keep your feet parallel and your legs parallel. So the knees go to the floor as far as you're able, or towards the floor, as far as your knees are able. We've got the fingers out nice and wide. Good. Back up into downward facing dog pose. Press your heels down and little steps to walk forward. Good. And then when you run out of room, roll up. Urdhva Hastasana. Nice. Now we're going to swing the right arm under, sort of under the chin, and then we're going to swing the arm. Moving the shoulders in this plane. So your arms are moving sort of around the plane of the face. Feel what happens in your shoulder blade. Breathe. Nice work. Back at the front of your mat. Tadasana. Mountain pose. Feet are hip width parallel, legs are parallel. Inhale, arms up. Look up. Uttanasana. Beautiful. And then little steps. Feet back. Downward facing dog pose. Good. Bring the knees to the floor and then hover them just off the floor and look forward. Stretch the fingers out nice and wide. Press the fingertips. Good. Feel the work in the core of the body. Nice work. Now we're going to put the knees gently on the floor. Relax your feet. And step your right knee to your right wrist, and then take the right knee behind you. Straighten the leg, lift the leg high, but don't tip the hips. So keep the hips level to the floor. Good. And then back to the right wrist with the right knee, and then back behind you. Sorry, I should have said if you need to put something under your left knee, then do that. Good. And release that side. And then left knee, left wrist, and then back behind you. And see if you can keep your hip level to the floor. When you lift the leg behind, activate the buttock muscle. So try to really shorten the fibers of the buttock muscle, to lift the leg higher. Ooh, one more. Work. Good. Now we're going to try the same thing with the knees hovering off the floor. It's much harder to do. Takes more energy. So you can stick with knees on the floor if you like. Tuck the toes under, lift the knees a little bit off the floor, step the right knee forward, and then the right leg lifts. Really shorten that right buttock muscle to lift the leg. Good. And then forward and back behind. One more. Nice work. So tuck the toes under, knees are hovering, left knee forward to the left wrist, left leg behind, shorten the left buttock muscle as you lift. And then child's pose. Well deserved. Find again the flow of your breath in your belly. The movement of the belly. Expansion. Contraction. Nice. Bring the arms forward on your mat and walk your knees back so that we have room to put the elbows on the floor for balance preparation. Good. Take the hips back towards the heels. Chest is moving towards the floor, moving towards the leg. Bring the bones of the spine towards the front of the torso. Good. And then look forward, lift your shoulders so that they're over your elbows. Stretch the fingers out nice and wide. Good. Legs are parallel, hip width, tuck the toes under and hover your knees off the floor. Good. Looking forward. And we'll bring the right knee towards the right elbow and then see if you can lift the leg straight behind you, shorten the buttock muscle. Good. And forward again. And then behind you, shorten the buttock muscle. Beautiful. One more. Good. And then releasing that side. I forgot to say, of course, you can do this with your knees on the floor. You don't have to hover them. So if you're finding it tough, keep the knees gently on the floor. All right, tuck the toes under, knees hovering off the floor. Left knee, left elbow. Bring the left leg behind. Left knee, left elbow. Bring the left leg behind. And left knee, left elbow. And bring the left. And take child's pose again. Bring the attention again to the belly. Feel the rhythm of the breath. And feel that expansion and that letting go in the whole body. Each breath, both renewal and letting go. Nice work. Now, this is where we're going to be doing some kneeling. So let's start off just with simple kneeling and take as much equipment underneath your sit bones as you're comfortable with. So if kneeling, no matter how much equipment you have, hurts your knees, then you're probably better to sit and put your feet out in front. So we don't want to hurt the knees. We're trying to improve the flexibility and the strength, the support of the knees with our standing poses. But kneeling is an intense practice, of course, for the flexibility of the knee. So make sure this is high enough, the hips, the sit bones, so that there's no pain. And you can always try sitting on the front of a chair and tucking the feet under, either side of the chair or under the chair if it's wide, so that you get that ankle stretch. So let's make this a little hero pose. So bring your hands on the floor near your feet and lift the breastbone, making a little bit of a back bend. Good. Press down the shins, the front of the feet. I'm going to take the arms up now by the ears and look up. Good. And then keep all that lovely openness, that lengthening of the spine, and look forward. Draw the thumbs back, the small fingers up. Good. And then releasing. Now, we're going to come up to standing and try and do that by tucking the toes under and coming up. Otherwise, however it makes sense. Tuck your toes under, just roll back over your feet. So you're in a squat position and then standing up. Okay, now we're going to make it tricky. I'm going to use the seat of my chair to make it a little bit easier on my balance. The blanket goes down on the floor for your knees to be on or head towards. So the way to modify this, if it hurts your knees to put them on the floor, is to lean onto your chair with your hands, and then you practice rolling over your feet, your knees forward and back, and you keep your legs parallel. Okay, and you only have to bend your knees as much as your knees are comfortable with. All right, so there's that version. Or there's the kneeling down. Good. And then you're going to kneel back onto your heels or in that direction and make that little back bend shape. Good. Find the chair, but tuck your toes under and see if you can roll back over your feet so that you have your balance over your feet and press into the heels, lift the pelvic floor to stand. So we're not really using our weight onto the chair to lift us up, not using the upper body. We're using that awareness in the feet. So let's try that again and see if you can kneel down without using the chair, but it's there if you need it. And if it's a comfortable movement for your knees, flatten your feet out and make your little back bend in between. Good. So to lift up, try to make that happen by rolling back over your feet. So getting your heels closer to the floor and then pressing into your heels to lift up. Okay, now if you're really struggling, you could try feet out wider, might make it better. And turn the toes out a little bit. So just see if that helps, and don't do anything that hurts your knee. So when you sit back, you're more in that forward virasana position, room for the belly. The lifting up is about rolling back over the feet Trying to get the heels close to the floor, pressing into the heels, lifting the pelvic floor. Good, and we're going to do one more. Beautiful work. All right, you don't need your chair. Unless you do, we're stepping forward and back on the mat. Take your blanket off the mat. You can keep the seat of the chair there if you like that for your balance. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Really big step back with the left leg. So you're in a really long lunge. Good. And we're going to gently take the left knee to the floor. Good. And lift the arms up by the ears. So the toes are tucked under of the left foot. Looking up. Nice work. Bring your hands back to the floor or the seat of the chair if that's what you're using. Lift your back leg. We're going to step forward, lift up, and swing the left leg in front and balance on the left. Good. And find your balance. Hold your challenge. Feel the expansion of the breath in the belly. The belly has a softness to it, an ease. But as you exhale, squeeze the belly and lift the spine. Draw the shoulder blades down. Beautiful. And then release. We're looking, just put your hands on your tummy for a moment. We're looking for that balance of softness, of ease, and strength. Great. And then we'll do the second side. Hands up, Urdhva Hastasana, arms up, ribs up, and then Uttanasana. Find your support. Your hands, big step back with the right foot. Big long lunge. Bring the right knee to the floor. Keep the back toes tucked under. Lift the torso, lift the arms. And then Tasana. Draw the shoulder blades down, lift the heart. And thumbs back. Small fingers reaching up, looking up. Beautiful. Hands back to the floor. And lift your back knee off the floor so you can step forward and sweep the right leg in front. Balance on your left leg. And find that softening of the inhalation. The letting go of the exhalation, but bringing the belly in to support the spine. So we feel strength and ease. Good, and then releasing that side. Inhale, arms out. And exhale, Uttanasana. Good, big step back with the left foot. Long lunge. So hands are on the floor here. We're going to really take the weight into the feet, the legs. Feel how strong the core of the body can be. And bring the arms up beside you, palms up, look forward. And then we're going to lift the torso, lift the arms by the ears. Keep the back leg straight this time. The back knee is off the floor. Bend the front knee. Thumbs are reaching back. Small fingers are reaching up. Beautiful. Bring the hands together in front of your heart and step forward from here. Swing the left leg in front. Balance, hold. Finding the breath. Good, and then releasing. Feet under the hips. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And Uttanasana. Big step back with the right foot. Long, long lunge here. Feeling powerful in the legs and the core. We're going to sweep the arms up beside the body, palms up, look forward. Lift the torso, but keep the front leg bent. Lift the arms up by the ears. Really straighten through the back leg. Thumbs are reaching back, small fingers are reaching up, lifting the heart. Drop the hips a little more. Bring the hands in front of your heart. Beautiful. Step forward, swing the right foot in front and balance on your left leg. Keeping your balance hold. Feeling the breath in the belly and its influence in the whole body. Good, and then releasing that side. Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana. Good. This time, stepping your left foot back for Trikonasana. So lining your left inner arch up with the heel of the right foot. And your feet are about your own leg length distance long. Good. Now just keep your hands on your support, floor or chair, and play around with straightening and bending your right leg. Tuning in to that muscular resistance. Good. And then have your leg as straight as you can and really try to lift that kneecap. Lift the kneecap of your left leg. So the legs feel very strong and straight. All right. Lift the torso now. And we're going to put the right hand as high up on the right leg as you need to bring your left hip back into the line of your feet. So it wants to hang forward over the outside the line of the feet. So lift the left hip. Good, and we're feeling really powerful in the leg. Lifting the kneecaps. Make sure the quadricep muscles are working. Left hip back. All right, the rib cage is going to turn. Left rib back, right rib forward. And we'll take the left arm. And lengthening your neck. Draw the shoulder blades back and breathe in. Trikonasana. I like to explore with the breath, with the letting go, whether you can deepen that right hip crease, lengthen the right waist. Swing the left arm forward, look forward, and you're going to swing the left leg forward, stand up and balance on your right. Strong right leg. Taking whatever balance challenge feels appropriate in your practice. Feel the breath in the whole body. Good, and then releasing that side. Tadasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And then Uttanasana. Big step back with the right foot, and we're looking for our Trikonasana distance, about your own leg length, lining up the left heel and the center of the right foot in the arch. And while your hands are down on the support, start to play around with straightening and bending that left leg. Looking at the muscular resistance in the leg. Of course, still aware of the flow of the breath. All right, straighten your legs as much as you are able. Lift the kneecaps, feel really strong in your quadriceps, the thighs. Good, and then lift up. Lift up and place your left hand as high on your left leg as you need to bring the right hip back into the line of the feet. So naturally it's going to want to hang outside the line of the feet, but we want to roll it back. Roll the right ribs back. The left ribs are rolling forward. Good. And then start to deepen the left hip crease and reach the left waist long over the left thigh. So the torso's in a lovely alignment over the feet here. Feel your strong legs, quadriceps are lifting. Good. If it feels all right for your shoulder, take your right arm up and looking up. And then explore with your breath if there is some room to move here. For the left hip crease to deepen. For the left ribs to lengthen. Good. And then bring the right arm forward to the front of the mat. And we're going to step forward, lift up, swing the right leg in front and balance on the left leg. Take your balance forward. Feel the flow of breath. Good. And then releasing that side. Tadasana. And release. And we're going to take a seat on the mat. And if you practicing your sitting without using your hands, give that a go. Try and keep the heels down. And remember, it's about the feet. Think about the flexibility of your feet so that you don't fall down into your sitting position. Otherwise, use your hands to help. Sitting up onto a blanket so that the hips get just a little help with their forward movement. Good. Take both legs out in front and bring your right leg tucked in. Bring the heel in as close as your knee is comfortable with. Good. We're going to reach the right arm up by the right ear and then reach the right arm and the right rib as far as you can towards the little toe. Let the body move where your forward movement takes you. Good, and then lift back up. And this time when you reach forward, keep an awareness of the ease of your lower back. So we want to really lengthen the belly, lengthen the lower back, and try not to make the bones of your spine pop out behind you. So it doesn't matter if you don't reach too far. Maybe you're just reaching in the direction of your knee rather than your toe. Good. So reaching forward now, but without sinking the chest, without the bones of your spine popping behind you. Good. So just reaching as far as you can. Good. And then come back up. Reach the right arm up by the right ear, right ribs are lengthening. And one more reach, and we're really going to try and reach the right rib this time. So really reaching, but we're keeping that ease in the spine. Ease over the skin of the spine. So reach as far as you can. So you might be reaching here and holding on the outside of your left leg. And you can put your left hand wherever it makes sense. So for balance, or holding your leg, both arms, or your foot. Some people have a lot of movement here. You can hold your wrist if you like, past your foot. Janusasana. Try to make it the right ribs that you're reaching. Finding the breath. And then inhale and coming up. Nice work. And then we'll change sides. So the left leg is tucked in and the right leg is out straight. Lift the left arm up by your left ear. And then reach. Reach as far as your body allows. And notice what the shape of the spine does. Maybe it bows out for you behind the shoulder blade. Maybe it's a bit lower down. Good. And then we're going to lift up. So we're going to think about that this time when we reach. So we might not reach so far, but feeling really protective, honoring the shape of the spine. Draw the bones of the vertebra forward. Good. So the skin of your spine stays nice and relaxed. And then reach forward again. So you're reaching towards the little toe side of the leg. Good. And then lifting up. One more. And this time we're going to lengthen the ribs a little bit more, the left rib. And this time we're going to try and reach the left rib towards that little toe side of the leg as far as you can reach. Ooh, but keep the bones of the spine forward, bedding forward. Don't let the chest sink. Keep the chest broad. Put your right hand where it makes sense for you. You might have both hands on your leg and really trying to lift and lengthen your left ribs towards the little toe side of your leg. Good. You might have your wrist, one hand holding your wrist. Good. And then releasing and coming back up. Right. Just balance for a moment on your sit bones. So hug your knees and have your tiptoes on the floor if you need. Otherwise, lift your spine up nice and tall. Feel the core of the body holding you stable. And we're going to lay down now. We did a little bit of rolling yesterday, so you can choose whether you would like to just do bamboo pose now, put the blanket under your hips and your feet go straight up, or a little bit of trying to lift the pelvis off the floor and then laying back down. You don't have to lift too high. It's actually that core movement that we're looking for. So a couple more of those. And then the last one, you can hold the back of the pelvis and let the feet reach as far as is comfortable for your back. And then Good. Put your feet back down onto the floor. Lift your hips, take the blanket out if you were doing bamboo pose. And we're going to just let the arms fall overhead. Legs are bent. Feet hip width and parallel. Press your lower back into the floor. But breathe deeply, feeling the action of the belly. Good. Relax the spine. Bring the arms out from the shoulders now, palms up. Inside edges of the feet, get the knees together. Let the knees to the floor on the left. Use your core awareness to lift the leg. Let the knees to the floor on the right. I'm going to rock one more time, both sides. Strong core. There's plenty of muscular tension. Move and lift the leg. Good. Back to center. Hug the knees into the chest. A little bit of a happy baby pose. Knees close to the floor. Toes moving towards the floor overhead. Relax. Relaxing your back. Relaxing. If you'd like to stay for Shavasana, be another 10 minutes. You can lay your legs out straight. If you need to finish your practice here, take a couple of deep breaths and then roll into your right side. Shavasana, people lengthening your spine, letting your legs roll out. Let the weight of your body be really supported. So notice the places in your body that you might be holding tension. And notice if you can let that tension go. Feel the movement of breath in the abdomen. Feel that wave of movement spreading through the whole body. Bring your focus now to your toes and your feet, to the sensations that are present. You might like to bring a sense of relaxation there. And now to your ankles. You notice one ankle feels more relaxed than the other. Paying attention to what you find. And now your leg, your lower leg. Your knee, thighs, belly, pelvic floor, buttock, lower back, middle back, and your shoulder blade, and your shoulders. For arms rolling out, arms rolling up. Feel the sensation of the thumbs and fingers, whether you can relax more there. Feel the sensation of the armpit, the shoulders and the neck, throat and jaw. The back of your head, the scalp and the skull, forehead, around your eyebrows, between your eyebrows. Feel the soft nature of the eyelids and the eyes resting in the back of the socket. And the brain, the back of the skull. Notice the air moving in and out through the nostrils. Be aware of how your nose feels, facial. Can you relax a little more? Now your lips and your tongue, palate, back of the throat, ear. Let the edges of the mind soften. Let your focus hold your whole body in the wave of each breath. Breath by breath. Take some deep breaths now. Start to gently move your hands and your feet, your wrists and ankles, elbows and knees. Bending in your arms and legs so you can roll to your side. And then coming up to sitting. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Take the feeling of the practice with you. Namaste.